Hades' hell was completely destroyed after the Battle of Elysium. We saw the goddess Kerr and the Specters coming back to life in the first chapters of the Heaven Saga. But why aren't the souls of the Gold Saints free to walk the earth or help Athena? The answer to this mystery involves a secret closely guarded by the Olympian gods. A divine conspiracy that changes everything we know about the afterlife in the universe of Saint Seiya. Hello, Knights and Amazons. Welcome to the Semperquist Saber channel. I'm Wes. And in today's video, we're going to reveal where the souls of the Gold Saints are in the Heaven Saga. Are you curious? So go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and let's get into this awesome video. When the Bronze Saints wearing their divine armors managed to help Athena pierce the true body of the god of the dead, the impact wasn't just the death of a deity, it was the destruction of an entire realm. The Underworld wasn't just a place where people went after they died. It was a dimension created, sustained, and powered exclusively by the divine cosmo of Hades. At the exact moment the life of the Emperor of the Underworld faded away, that entire colossal structure began to collapse like a castle of flesh. The 8 prisons simply ceased to exist. Even the landscape of Elysium, the paradise reserved only for the chosen ones of the deities, evaporated into the void of space and time. In the current timeline of the Heaven Saga, all that remains of that mythological grandeur is nothing but cosmic dust and debris. The only thing that still stands, floating like a scar in the fabric of the beyond, are a few isolated ruins located in the region of the former purgatory. And it is precisely in this setting of ruins that an extremely dangerous and manipulative figure decides to act from the shadows. And we're talking about Kerr, the goddess of dark fate. Unlike her brothers Thanatos and Hypnos, who are deities focused on direct combat, Kerr operates through the manipulation of fate, discord, and infiltration into the enemy army. She was the one mainly responsible for sending the Evil Star, which possessed the mind of Saga of Gemini in the past, triggering the entire rebellion of darkness. Since Kerr is an entity that responds to concepts much broader than simply managing the underworld, she was neither sealed nor destroyed, along with Hades' empire. Seeing the situation, she realizes that she needs to reorganize the forces of evil to ensure that the interests of the underworld remain protected and that the earth is conquered. Kerr travels to Purgatory, and using her sinister and subtle cosmo, she manages to awaken a warrior who should have been permanently asleep, the Specter gene of Orthros. In mythology and in the hierarchy of the evil stars, the attire of Orthros refers to the 2-headed dog who guarded the herds of the giant Geryon, being the legitimate brother of Cerberus, the 3-headed dog who guarded the gates of hell. The choice of Jean of Orthros for this mission is not by chance. He has a unique and indispensable ability for that moment of crisis, the capacity to rescue and manipulate the souls of lower-level specters who were left wandering aimlessly after the explosion of the underworld. The direct mission given by Kerr to Jean is clear. He must use his powers to resurrect the skeleton specters. The skeleton specters are like the famous Marquino from the old troupe of Judge Minos and subordinate of Boron. They are the foundation of the pyramid of Hades' army. Jean de Orthros begins to collect these fragments of skeletal souls and bring them back into action, proving that even with the underworld destroyed, the souls of the dead are still accessible in the universe and can be manipulated. This is where our minds are blown, and we arrive at a theory that gains tremendous strength. If the underworld has turned to dust, if there are no more hellish prisons to hold anyone, and if a goddess like Kerr can send a lesser specter to revive the soldiers, skeleton in the middle of the ruins of Purgatory, where are the Gold Saints? Logically, the souls of Mu of Aries, Aldebaran of Taurus, Saga of Gemini, Death Mask of Cancer, Iolia of Leo, Shaka of Virgo, Doko of Libra, Milo of Scorpio, Iolos of Sagittarius, Shura of Capricorn, Camus of Aquarius, and Aphrodite of Pisces. They should be completely free at the Wall of Lamentation to open the way for the Bronze Saints to cross the hyperdimension and reach the Elysium. The 12 Gold Saints gathered the entirety of their cosmos in a single point. They generated the light of the sun in the deepest and darkest heart of the underworld, something that was considered an impossible miracle. This extreme effort caused their physical bodies to be completely destroyed by the immense release of energy. But these men were not ordinary humans, they were Athena's elite, All of them had awakened the eighth sense, the Araya Arayashiki. This is the supreme ability that allows a person to enter the world of the dead, maintaining their consciousness, their individuality, and total control over their cosmos, without being subject to the laws imposed by the Emperor of the Underworld. Shaka of Virgo, known as the man closest to God due to his deep understanding of the laws of the universe and his meditations under the twin solitaries, had mastered the eighth sense perfectly. Kanon and Doko also crossed the boundary of the world of the dead, awakening this power. Therefore, with the complete destruction of Hades' empire and the full mastery of the eighth sense, the natural result would be that the souls of the Gold Saints would immediately awaken on Earth. They could manifest as spirits of pure energy, just as we see happen with Aiolos in the prelude to the Heaven chapter, when his spirit speaks directly with Athena Sauri and makes her momentarily recover her memories. This could be a clue that the spirits of the Gold Saints are free, but I believe that's not the case. This is where the dark truth is revealed. The souls of the Gold Saints are not wandering the earth nor resting in peace. Aiolos only appeared and spoke with Athena because of his residual cosmos that was embedded in the testament of the House of Sagittarius. The souls of the Gold Saints were probably captured and sealed at the top of Mount Olympus by the gods. The gods of Olympus, such as Artemis, Apollo, and Hera, did not watch the holy war against Hades idly by. They watched every step of the humans from up above, and what they saw left them absolutely terrified. The gods saw ordinary humans achieve the miracle of the divine armors, the vestments, which have properties similar to the Kamui, the exclusive garments of the Olympian deities. They saw mortals face and kill Thanatos and Hypnos, two immense mythological entities. And worst of all, they witnessed the fall of Hades, one of the three great rulers of the universe, defeated by the union of Athena's love and the relentless determination of humans. For the pride and safety of Olympus, this was a warning sign. The gods realized that humanity had crossed a dangerous line. The order of the universe was under threat. If humans could kill a god of Hades' caliber, what would stop them from marching to Olympus and challenging the other gods? After Athena messed up the universe by going back in time to destroy Hades' sword in the Next Dimension saga, the gods had the perfect excuse to punish her. Apollo, however, gives a lighter punishment. He erases the memory and powers of Athena and her bronze saints. However, with the gods quickly recognizing the importance and power of the gold saints, they decide to seal them. The gods knew that the bronze saints were walking miracles, but now the gods would be out of danger. However, the return of the gold saints from the world of the dead would be something difficult to face. The sacrifice at the Wailing Wall proved that when the 12 unite, they can reproduce the power of the sun and break through any barrier the gods create. If the souls of those 12 warriors were left loose in the universe without the underworld to contain them, it would only be a matter of time before Athena awakened again and returned for the imminent battle against Olympus. To prevent this divine catastrophe, the gods of Olympus acted quickly, preemptively, and cruelly. Before those 12 spiritual essences could rise back to the surface of the earth, they were intercepted by the Olympian gods Cosmo and then imprisoned. The souls of Mu, Aldebaran, Saga, Deathmask, Iolia, Shaka, Doko, Milo, Aiolos, Shura, Camus, and Aphrodite were forcibly dragged to the highest and most guarded point of Mount Olympus. There, in the heart of enemy territory, the gods used a divine seal, something much more powerful and ancient than the ordinary seals Athena uses to lock Poseidon or the Pandora's box. This seal of Olympus petrified them, and Athena became one of the first to face judgment and punishment. This would be that same giant stone structure, the stone obelisk with the faces of the gold saints that appears in the movie Heaven's Prologue. We should remember that this movie contains many details that are now being canonized by Kurumada, specifically in the manga. We know that Kurumada was responsible for creating the basis of the story for Heaven's Prologue, and that's why the sealing of the gold saints is something very likely to be confirmed now in the manga as well. They were sentenced to the worst possible punishment for a warrior: eternal oblivion, watching without being able to do anything, while the world they gave their lives to protect is threatened by the punishments of the gods and the marvelous plans of Kerr's knights. The gods turned the greatest heroes on Earth into war trophies and maximum security prisoners, proving the deep fear that Olympus has of human potential. But what about you? Do you also believe that the souls of the gold saints are sealed? Leave a comment so I can know. And, of course, thank you for watching this video until the end. and see you next time. Burn your Cosmo to infinity.